Now listen carefully and answer questions 21 to 25.
Hello, Professor. I'm John Wishart. I'm working on my entry for the Global Design Competition. My tutor said you might be able to help me with it.
Ah, yes, I got a copy of your drawings. Come in and tell me about it. What sort of competition is it?
Well, it's an international design competition, and we have to come up with a new design for a typical domestic kitchen appliance.
I see. And are there any special conditions? Does it have to save energy, for example?
Actually, that was the focus in last year's competition. This year's different. We have to adopt an innovative approach to existing technology, using it in a way that hasn't been thought of before.
I see. That sounds tricky. And what kitchen appliance have you chosen?
Well, I decided to choose the dishwasher.
Interesting. What made you choose that?
Well, they're an everyday kitchen appliance in most Australian houses, but they're all pretty boring and almost identical to each other. I think some people will be prepared to pay a little extra for something that looks different.
It's a nice idea. I see you've called your design the rock pool. Why is that?
Basically because it looks like the rock pools you find on a beach. The top is made of glass so that you can look down into it.
And there's a stone at the bottom. Is that just for decoration?
Actually, it does have a function. Instead of pushing a button, you turn the stone.
So it's really just a novel way of starting the dishwasher.
That's right.
It's a really nice design. But what makes it innovative?
Well, I decided to make a dishwasher that uses carbon dioxide.
In place of water and detergent? How will you manage that?
The idea is to pressurize the carbon dioxide so that it becomes a liquid. The fluid is then released into the dishwasher where it cleans the dishes all by itself.
Sounds like a brilliant idea. Your system will totally do away with the need for strong detergents. So what happens once the dishes are clean?
Well, to allow them to dry, the liquid carbon dioxide and the waste materials all go to an area called the holding chamber. That's where the liquid is depressurized, and so it reverts to a gas. Then the oil and grease are separated out and sent to the waste system.
It sounds like you've thought it all out very thoroughly. So what happens to the carbon dioxide once the process is complete? Not wasted, I hope.
Actually, that's where the real savings are made. The carbon dioxide is sent back to the cylinder and can be used again and again.
What a terrific idea. Do you think it will ever be built?
Probably not, but that's okay.
Well, I'm sure a lot of positive things will come out of your design.
Before you hear the rest of the discussion, you have some time to...
Okay, so now get ready for the second part. Wait, don't answer. We're going to continue the whole section.
look at questions 26 to 30.
Here is the second part. Have a look at the questions before you listen.
Now listen and answer questions 26 to 30.
Now, you seem to have thought about everything, so what exactly did you need me to help you with?
Well, my design has made it to the final stage of the competition, and in a few months' time, I have to give a presentation, and that's the part I was hoping you could help me with.
Right, well, that should be easy enough. What have you managed to do so far?
Well, I've got detailed drawings to show how it will work, and I've also written a 500-word paper on it.
I see. Well, if you want to stand a good chance of winning, you really need a model of the machine.
Yes, I thought I might, but I'm having a few problems.
What's the main difficulty so far? Let me guess. Is it the materials?
Yes. I want it to look professional, but everything that's top quality is also very expensive.
Look, projects like this are very important to us. They really help lift our profile. So why don't you talk to the university about a grant?
Oh,
I can help you fill out the application forms if you like.
that would be great.
You'd better show me this paper you've written as well. For a global competition such as this, you need to make sure the technical details you've given are accurate and thorough.
Oh, that would be a great help.
Is there anything else I can do?
Well, I'm really...
That is the end of section 3. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
You have like 30 seconds because you would like to change some answers before we display the correct one. Okay, so now let's go for the answers. Can you see the answers? 21C, 22A. You can see it? Okay. I will share the screen again. Here, now you can see it. 21C, 22A, 23B, 24A, 25C, 26 presentation, model, material or materials, both are correct, grant and technical. So, do you have any mistakes? Is there anything wrong? Okay, great. Let's check that. Great, Tony. So would you like to go for section 4, then we cover 3 and 4, or we cover 3, we check the answer, and we know our mistakes, then we go to 4? Which way do you like? Would you like to see the answer of question 3? We study it, then we go to section 4, or check 3 first? Okay. 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 I'm gonna open the file. Here. Now, I hope that you can see the shared screen. You can see it now, right? So this is a conversation between the professor, someone who teaches in a university, and one of his students, John. So the first question is 21, said students entering the design competition have to. There is a design competition in one of the universities, and students who are going to enroll in that competition have to. The answer is C. Well, in an international design competition, we have to come up with a new design. So the answer is that if you're going to enroll in the competition, you have to get a new design. For a typical domestic kitchen appliance, So we need one of the sets in the kitchen that is already used, but I need to redesign it. I have to come up with a new design. So I hope that you didn't choose A or B because they are not true. And it was straightforward, as you can see. It was not that difficult. Then they started talking for like 9 lines before they answered the second question. In the second question, they said, John chose a dishwasher because he wanted to make dishwashers. Why did he choose the dishwasher? Did he choose it because it's more he wanted to make it more common? It was not used, it was not used commonly used and he wanted it to be used? Or he wanted to make it more economical? And economical means cheap. It does not have a relation to the word economics. So you don't say economical means اقتصادي. No, it's not اقتصادي, it's cheap. Okay? But the answer is A, because he wanted to make it more appealing. Why? Because he said, I think some people will be prepared to pay a little extra for something that looks different. That's how it looks appealing. If you attended last session, if you attended the session that was on Wednesday, I told you that the exam is based on your understanding to the language. And they use many synonyms. They use synonyms widely. And here it is. In the listening, they say, I think some people will be prepared to pay a little extra for something that looks different. Something that looks different is here looks appealing. Appealing. They give similar meaning to each other. That's why you have to understand English. And we're going to know, because this is the last session in listening and reading exams, because my next 2 sessions will be for teaching vocabulary. But we can give you like one very important piece of advice. Inshallah, if you're going to do it, you're going to improve your English. I know that most of you are here because you would like to improve your English standard. Okay, so I see that some people have just joined. This is 20 minutes late, guys. You're losing your own money and time. So please stick to the time. Now, question 23. They told you the stone in Jones rock pool design is used. We said that the idea of the whole competition or conference or that thing that they are having is that they redesign things. So they can't just make the set or the tool the same. They have to change something. And here John changed something. So he said, actually, it does have a function. Instead of pushing a button, you turn the stone. That's the redesigning. Before, previously, the dishwasher, you just push a button so that it works. But here, no. Here you have to turn the stone. When you turn it, it's like you push the button. And for 24, in the holding chamber, the carbon dioxide. He mentioned one thing about carbon dioxide. In 24, he said that's where the liquid is depressurized, and so it reverts to gas. He used he just paraphrased the sentence, and he said that the carbon dioxide changed back to gas. Here, he said it reverts to gas. In the answer, he said it changed back to gas. Revert, change back. And question 25, at the end of the cleaning process, the carbon dioxide, what happens to the carbon dioxide at the end? The carbon dioxide is sent back to the cylinder and can be used again and again. Here is collected, ready to be reused. To be reused is to use again and again. To be reused, to use again and again. So as you see, that most of the answers are the same but in different words. They use synonyms. They use synonyms. Okay, let's go for the second part. The second part is so easy. I don't think that you made any mistakes, but let's discuss it with you guys. Would you like to ask me anything about the part that we have just finished? Have you made a mistake? Have you made a mistake and you don't know why is it wrong? Why it is wrong? Any questions? Okay, so let's move to 26. From 26 till 30, it's a completion question. You will, if you're doing the exam, you will get some sentence to complete. So in 26, they said, John needs help preparing for his, what did John ask help for? He said, in a few months' time, I have to give a presentation. And that's the part I was hoping you could help me with. Why is he talking to his professor? Because he seeks help. He wants the professor to help him with his presentation. Okay, next. The professor advised John to make a space for the design. What did he say? He told him, well, if you want to stand a good chance of winning, that's a piece of advice. That's the piece of advice. And I would like to seize the chance here. So guys, you told me you seek or you would like to improve your English, right? So if you would like to improve your English, hopefully you can do what I'm saying now. You print those sheets, those exams, and study them. Use the expressions. Look how do they advise here. You studied in school that if you would like to advise someone to stop smoking, you said that you should stop smoking. If you would like to give him strong advice, you say you must stop smoking. You need to stop smoking. This is how they taught us how to give advice. And if you would like to make a more respected sentence, you would say, if I were you, I would stop smoking. But look at what they did here. Look how the professor advised him. He told him, if you want to stand a good chance, let me highlight this. Here, if you want to stand a good chance of winning, you really need. This is how I would like you to give advice to people. If you want to stand a good chance of winning, you really need to speak English faster. You really need to practice English more. You really need to help me. You really need to give money to the poor. This is how you advise people. So that's a new structure I would like you to use. So what are you doing, guys? What are you doing? You're going to print this exam and the previous exams that you studied with Miss Lobna and study every sentence. Use them in your daily language. This is how you improve your English. You're not improving your English through listening only or reading only. You have to use your language. You have to use your language. So here, what did he ask him to do? You really need a model of the machine. So if you would like to succeed, if you want to stand a good chance of winning, you really need to make a model. So what's the piece of advice? Make a model. Here, the professor advised John to make a model. Now, 28. John's main problem is getting good quality. What's his problem? He faces a problem? Yes. I want it to look professional. Look here. Look here. Look at the structure, guys. He didn't say, oh, I have one problem. I have one problem. No. he changed the structure. He said, I want it to look professional, but you know that you use but to give contradictory ideas. So this is how you're going to use it. I would like I would like to get high marks, but I don't study. That's one way you can use. So here, yes, I want it to look professional, but everything is that's too quality is also very expensive. That's his problem. That he wanted quality material. He wanted material that is great, that is fine. But he faces a problem that they are so expensive. Now, 29, the professor suggests John apply for a. He told him. That's another piece of advice. Do you think he's going to use the same structure? Would he say, if you want to stand a good chance of winning? No, he's going to use a different structure. Let's highlight it. Let's underline it. So you don't you talk to the university about a grant? It's totally different. A different piece of advice. A different piece of advice. Why don't you? We studied this at school. Why don't you ask the school or the university for a grant? They may give you money. They may fund your project. Now the last one, the professor will check the space information in Jones' written report. This is how he's going to give him extra help. He said, you better show me this paper you've written as well. This is the second helping. This is a different way of helping. He told him, give me your paper. I have to look at them. So the third, here is the third task or the third listening task. So any questions? I'm eager to listen to your questions, please. Yes? I hope from Allah that you would answer me back. This is my dream now. That when I tell you something, you respond. Guys, you have to respond. You have to respond. Okay. Get ready for section 4. Section 4. Here's section 4, guys. I would like you to read the questions.
Section 4. You will hear a university lecture about an endangered bear in British Columbia, Canada, known as the spirit bear. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Now listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Today, we continue our series on ecology and conservation with a look at a particularly endangered member of the black bear family. 1 in 10 black bears is actually born with a white coat, which is the result of a special gene that surfaces in a few. Local people have named it the spirit bear, and according to the legends of these communities, its snowy fur brings with it a special power. Because of this, it has always been highly regarded by them, so much that they do not speak of seeing it to anyone else. It is their way of protecting it when strangers visit the area. The white bear's habitat is quite interesting. The bear's strong relationship with the old-growth rainforest is a complex one. The white bear relies on the huge, centuries-old trees in the forest in many ways. For example, the old-growth trees have extremely long roots that help prevent erosion of the soil along the banks of the many fish streams. Keeping these banks intact is important because these streams are home to salmon, which are the bear's main food source. In return, the bear's feeding habits nurture the forest. As the bears eat the salmon, they discard the skin and bones in great amounts on the forest floor, which provide vital nutrients. These produce lush vegetation that sustains thousands of other types of life forms, from birds to insects and more. Today, the spirit bear lives off the coast of the province of British Columbia on a few islands. There is great concern for their survival, since it is estimated that less than 200 of these white bears remain. The best way to protect them is to make every effort to preserve the delicate balance of their forest environment. In other words, their ecosystem. The greatest threat to the bear's existence is the loss of its habitat. Over many years, logging companies have stripped the land by cutting down a large number of trees. In addition, they have built roads which have fractured the areas where the bear usually feeds, and many hibernation sites have also been lost. The logging of the trees along the streams has damaged the places where the bears fish. To make matters worse, the number of salmon in those streams is declining because there is no legal limit on fishing at the moment. All these influences have a negative impact on the spirit bear's very existence, which is made all the more fragile by the fact that reproduction among these bears has always been disappointingly low. And so, what's the situation going forward? Community organizations, environmental groups, and the British Columbia government are now working together on the problem. The government is now requiring logging companies to adopt a better logging method, which is a positive step. However, these measures alone may not be sufficient to ensure a healthy population of the spirit bear in the future. Other steps also need to be taken. While it is important to maintain the spirit bear's habitat, there also needs to be more emphasis on its expansion. The move is justified as it will also create space for other bears that are losing their homes.
That is the end of section 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers.
You have only 10 seconds left to see your answers, to check them. Now let's discuss the answers. Let's share the answers of the section 4. Okay, here are the answers. Check them with your answers, please. Now tell me, how many correct ones do you have? I guess that you finished. You finished? We have only one confusing idea, which is number 35, which is the gap between 35 and 34. Because after 34, they spoke for too long before they give you the answer to 35. Yes? MashaAllah, Karen. All are correct. Perfect. If you have something wrong, guys, tell me. I guess that this I'm a bit different. I'm a bit opposing the idea that the exam is progressively difficult, because I see that task 4 is so easy. What do you think, guys? Task 4 is so easy. It's easier than task 3. I guess that tasks 3 are always difficult. So what do you think? I would like to listen to Tony, Muhammad, Rania, Ashraf, Noha, Suad, Fatin, Carlos, Karen. What do you think? Which task is the most difficult one? Okay. Yes. Logging. Companies must improve their now they are talking about different thing. You can't use developing, because they are talking about the technique itself. Okay. Okay. So this was for the listening. Now I would like to know how many people did the reading part. Of course we can't do the reading part now. You're welcome. We can't do the reading part now because it takes only an hour to answer the 3 sections. And you should have done this on your own. And here we can discuss it. So mainly you have 3 sections. And the 3 sections are 40 questions. But unlike the listening, you're not going to have any extra time. Because in listening, they give you some time to transfer your answers from the question sheet into the answer sheet. So you can do this. But in reading, you can't. You have the sheet and you answer it at once. And you have only 1 hour. So we have 3 sections. And they move from simple, more difficult, the most difficult. I don't know. I know that you're not going to do the exam, so we're not going to talk about the exam. I'm talking about how we can benefit from such part. As I told you in the listening, it goes for the same. It goes the same for writing, for reading. I would like you to print the sheets, read the topics, especially that we have some amazing topics that you will like so much. So if you like reading, you're gonna enjoy reading them. If you don't like reading and you would like to improve your mentality, so I advise you to read the reading exams, the reading tests. They are really amazing and extremely beneficial. You're going to gain much knowledge through this. Some texts are historical, they talk about things in the past. Some are psychological, they address the mind. So I highly recommend that you should read them and highlight the expressions that you like to use in the same way that we did with the listening. You're gonna find some great expressions, and you compare the answers and the questions, because this is how you get the benefit, because you will know and understand that you have more than one way to say this, to say the same idea. Did you get my point, guys? Did you get my point? I hope that you do this. It's really my sincere advice, and if you do this, you're gonna feel like you're improving very fast. And by the way, if you would like to I don't know how to stop this. Thank you so much, Noah. If you would like to improve your English fast, I advise you to get magazines, newspapers, and read them. They're all online, I guess. So you just type newspaper in English. The most famous newspaper in English, which is the Times or the New York Times or something like this. If you read this, this is everyday language. You will find some very high standard English and some colloquial topics, in which in a way that is going to enrich your vocabulary and get you accustomed, and you will be acquainted with the current events that happens. So this is a brilliant way to improve your English. And we have two different techniques because people are different. Some people recommend that you should read silently, because reading silently makes you indulge into the topic and live it and start creating your imagination. You start creating your own images of the topic. And some other people say no, you have to speak, you have to read aloud, so that you train your tongue to speak. So this way or the other are going to benefit you anyway. So I guess that you have the reading tasks. Do you have the reading tasks? Hello? Do you have the reading tasks? I send them in the group. I send them to Noor, and Noor send them in the group. Yes, perfect. Okay, so now I would like you to tell me some ideas. How can I answer the passage? What technique do you use, guys, to answer the passage? I know that you answered some passages before with Miss Yumna, Miss Lubna. So tell me now, what is your technique in answering? If you would like to speak, raise your hand and we can listen to you. And don't be afraid of making mistakes, because we all make mistakes. If you would like to type this in the chat, it's fine. I'm gonna drink because I took too much. Thank you, Ms. Noha. Ms. Noha, mashallah, give us the first piece of advice. Ms. Noha reads questions first, while Mr. Ashraf read the passage and highlight the keywords. Ms. Noha said then highlight the keywords, but Ms. Saad said highlight the keywords in a question. Yes, thank you so much to the three of you. I really appreciate your answers. Thank you. Guys, I would like to listen to more people. Karen, why are you not talking to me today, Karen? Are you angry with me, Karen? You stop talking. Karen, the 11-year friend, I'd like to know what is your technique in dealing with passages. Of course, these passages are different from the passages that you have in your English OL or AL. Karen said that she understands what they talk about. What do you mean by you try to understand what do they talk about? You mean the passage? So you read the passage? Or what do you do? Guys, share your ideas with us, guys. We learn from each other. I would like to learn from you. So don't be generous, please. Be generous. Tell me your technique. Okay, then Miss Saad, after highlighting the keywords of the text, she's gonna skim the passage. Yes, yes. Okay, so thank you so much for your brilliant ideas, guys. Actually, there are 3 techniques in dealing with passages. There is the first technique in which people read the whole passage, then answer the question. But if you're doing the IELTS exam, you're not going to do this because you don't have time. You have only 1 hour and you need to read 3 texts. Each text is 2 pages. So I guess that you're going to finish after like 1 week or something if you're going to read every word and understand every word. So this is technique 1. And I don't recommend it at all. Unless you're a fast reader. Unless you're a fast reader and comprehender. So if you really like 1 page in like 2 minutes and understand it, so you have to read. This is great. Read. But I don't think that we can do this. The second technique is that you read the questions and you try to look for the answers. That's the second technique. And I'm sorry, my friends, I really don't recommend this. Why? Because you're going to read the text more than 1 time, searching for your keywords. So let's say that the question says, examples of ancient step wells can be found all over the world. So you're going to look for step wells and all over the world. I guess that you're going to read like from line 1 till the line that has step wells and all over the world. If you're lucky, you can find this in the first 10 lines. But what if not? You're not lucky, and it's in the second page. You're gonna read everything. You're gonna skim the whole part. So I guess, and this happens for question 1. What about question 2? You're gonna read the same number of lines again. And for each question, you're going to read the whole thing again and again. Am I right, guys, or am I too far of what you're doing? Is that what you really do? You read the text more than 1 time because you're looking for words, for certain words? Yes, that's why I don't recommend it. Thank you so much, Saad. That's why I don't recommend this technique either. The technique that I believe in, and maybe you oppose my idea and I respect it. I respect what you're saying. We're going, look here, guys. Look here. You have some sort of paragraphs. So, thank you, Noham. Why don't you read each topic idea, topic sentence, the first sentence or the first 2 lines in the first paragraph, in each paragraph, and you highlight the keywords there. And if you and you're not going to waste time if you just circle the main words, the keywords, or highlighted them. It will take like 2 or 3 minutes for the whole passage, but you will control it. You know that this paragraph talks about let's say the different kinds of swimming as a sport. The second paragraph talks about the elite, the magnificent swimmers. The third paragraph talks about the different competitions in swimming, and so on. So once you finished 4 minutes reading the whole page, you're not reading, you're reading the topic sentences, the first 2 sentences and maybe the last sentence in the paragraph. and you know what each paragraph talks about. And when you go to answer the questions, you'll find them so easily, because you're going to know this question. It talks about step wells all over the world. Yes, I know that paragraph 3 talks about this idea. So you head to paragraph 3 and you find it so easily. This is the technique I like to use, and this is the technique I recommend to all my friends like you. So I would like to try it. If you find it working, it will be my pleasure. I would be very happy. I would be on cloud nine. And if you don't think it's working, just give it a try. Try it once. But I don't guarantee that if you're going to do this, you finish the first passage in 5 minutes. Maybe you take like, I said 2 or 3 minutes. You may take like 5 or 6. Yes, because it's your first time to do this technique. But the more you do it, the faster you will get to finish it quickly. So I hope that you try this technique, and let's see how it's going. But you have to have a paper in your hand. You have to have a paper, because reading online is somehow difficult for me, at least. I don't like to read online. I like to read the paper, except from the posts of Facebook and such stuff. Okay, guys, so would you like to ask me any question about this before we head into answering? We're not going to have the chance to answer everything because you didn't read the passages. But we can answer one passage, and you do the other two on your own, and I send you my comments, or we can discuss the comments in the first 15 minutes in the vocabulary session. So I would like to hear from you guys. What do you think? We had 3 techniques. Which one do you like the most? Which one you will go for? Okay, Saad, thank you so much. So Ms. Saad is going to try the third one, in which is going to read the topic sentence in each paragraph, and then go to read the questions, and she will find that easily, inshallah. Okay, it's my honor. It's my honor. So you don't want to ask any question, Mr. Tony? No question, Mr. Muhammad. I would like to hear your questions, guys. If I know the answer, I will happily answer. If I don't know the answer, I will promise you that next time I will get you the answer. No questions? Okay. Okay. So let's try this now, guys. Do you have the sheet, or would you like me to share it here? Do you have the sheet, or would you like me to share it? Share it? Okay, I will share it. Let's share it. Let me know which one first before we go. Here we are. I'm gonna read what you sent. Just give me 1 second to close all those extra things. That's this listening, and this is listening. Bye bye listening. Goodbye listening. Okay, here is text 1. Before we read the text, before we read the passage, I would like to tell you something very important. Please expect but don't trust. What did I say, guys? Please type it, guys. Expect but don't trust. Type it, please. I would like to see everyone typing this. Expect but don't trust. Yes, no one typed it. Expect but don't trust. Thank you so much, Mr. Ashraf. Who else? Thank you, Miss Noha. Perfect. Who else? I'd like you to type it, guys. Type it. Thank you, Mr. Muhammad. Who else? Thank you, Karen. Who else? We still have some more people. Some more people to go. So, what do I mean by this? Can anybody explain it? Can anybody explain my sentence, please? Any idea? What do I mean by this and how can I apply this? Okay, Mr. Muhammad, thank you so much. Mr. Muhammad said that he thinks I mean that we have to read everything before till the end. Ms. Noah said that we can expect the answer. Try to guess but do not be sure. Thank you, Mr. Ashraf. So thank you, Ms. Noah. Thank you, Mr. Muhammad. Thank you, everyone who answered. And special thanks to Mr. Ashraf, because this is what I really meant to say. I would like you to guess the answer, but don't think that this is the answer. This is just your expectation. This is just a guessing. So step wells, I don't know what does step well mean. I don't know what does step well mean. I tried to think, what does step well mean? No, I don't know. So it's one word, I can split it into two. So does this mean steps and wells? Maybe this passage is about the wells that has steps. I don't know if this exists or not, but I'm expecting. And I have to read the first few words, because the first few words, and this is my part, you started guessing the topic, but I don't want you to build your answers on guessings. You just guess to make it closer. Step wells. You have to read the 3 lines here. A millennium ago, step wells are fundamental to life in the driest parts of India. Richard Cox traveled to northwestern India to document these spectacular monuments from a bygone era. So here there's something called step wells, and it's in India. And it's an old thing, an ancient one. Now, I would like you to read the paragraph 1 and tell me which topic sentence can we find here and the highlighted words. So start reading. Okay, did you get did you get the topic sentence of the first paragraph? It's a very difficult paragraph because it contains many names. And the first sentence goes below. It's not in the first 2 lines, 3 lines, 4 lines. You have to go deeper. So in the first paragraph, they talk about water for drinking, bathing, watering animals. So this is the topic idea in paragraph 1. What about paragraph 2, guys? What is it about? This paragraph is so easy. Paragraph 2, unique to this region. Tell me what's the topic idea here? Any answer? Any answer? What's the topic idea? What's the topic sentence? The first one, perfectness, Noha, perfect. The topic sentence is sentence 1, which is stepwells are structurally complex and very widely in size and shape. That's the topic idea. Perfect. Okay. So now, what about number 3? Paragraph number 3. What's the topic sentence here? Or even the highlighted words in the topic sentence? Still the first one, Mr. Ashraf, perfect. It's the first one, yes, Ms. Saad, perfect. Because they said, as their name suggests, you have to cross out this part because it's not that important. Stepwells comprise a series of stone steps descending from ground level to the water source. That's the main idea. And I highlight the words here. Okay, so now let's try one question, guys. Let's try one question and see if we can benefit or not. What does this mean, guys? What's true, false, or not given? Thank you, Mr. Ashraf. What does that question mean? True, false, not given? What do you understand from this? How do I consider one sentence to be true and the other to be false and one to be not given? Any idea? What about the information in the passage, Ms. Saad? Why do I say that this sentence is true? Any help? MashaAllah, I have too many answers now. No, Ms. Noah said agree or not agree with the information. Mr. Ashraf said that it matches with the passage. Ms. Rania said he didn't mention. Yes, thank you so much. All your answers are correct. If the sentence is true, we say true because the question or the sentence in the question is the same like the sentence in the passage in the idea, but maybe we use different words. But we say this is false because they give wrong information. The sentences in the question have different information from the sentences in the passage. And not mentioned or not given, the writer referred to this, but he didn't say the exact words. And we can't judge, we don't know. Because we're looking for facts, okay? So, question 1. Examples of ancient stepwells can be found all over the world. Who can answer this, guys? It was mentioned in the part that we read. Is it true, false, or not given? Any idea? Okay, Ms. Saad said not given. Who else can guess? I know it's so difficult because you have to read the passage. The passage should be in front of you, but I'm depending on your memory. I'm counting on your memory. False. Okay, so I go for, yes, excellent, excellent. You remembered now. We talk about India. We didn't say any parts of the world. And someone traveled to India because it was only mentioned that it was in India. This is how the information is falsified, because he said something in the passage, and in the question now he said something different. So that's why it's false. Number two, step wells had a range of functions in addition to those related to water collection. In which paragraph is this sentence, guys? The paragraph that referred to the uses of water. Two. Yes, perfect. 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 How did you know this? No, number one is false. Number one is false. So how did you know this? Because while we were preparing the passage, we knew that the water is used for different purposes. That's why he said step wells had a range of functions. They were not only for drinking, they were drinking, bathing, washing animals. So the sentence is true. So guys, do you believe me now that that technique, or the third technique, is so easy, in which you know what does this paragraph talk about, and you just head to it. Okay, number three. The few existing step wells in Delhi are more attractive than those found elsewhere. Of course, we have to read the whole passage to know this. Okay. Okay. Question number 5. I would like you to mention which paragraph is this. The number of steps above the water level in step well altered during the course of the year. Which paragraph talked about the level of the water and the steps? Three. Yes. It's the paragraph that we said step wells comprise a series of stone steps descending from ground level to the water source. So here they talk about the steps and the water level. Okay? So so we answered 1, 2, 5 through reading some words in each paragraph. Now I would like you to take a screenshot of these 3 questions, because you're going to answer them now. Have you taken a screenshot? Have you taken a screenshot? Done? All of you? Okay. Now I'm going to help you. I suppose that you read the texts, and I'm going to direct you to the part that has one answer. But you have to tell me which answer it is, okay? So okay. Here, here, here. still in public here. This is an answer. Can you please tell me which one? Is it 6, 7, 8? Still in public use. Which one? 6, 7, or 8? Come on, highlight the keywords. Look at the paragraph and go to the question. Find the topic sentence and you will find the answer quickly. No one answered? Okay, we have a first answer here from Ms. Saad. She said, this paragraph is for sentence number 6. I'm still waiting for my other friends to respond. Another 6? So you choose 6 2 times? Okay. Where are my friends? Where is Tony? Ashraf? Miss Saad is here. Miss Noha? Karen? Those are the people who always talk to me. Where are the other friends as well? You can decide, guys. Okay. If 7, okay. So if you read this, still in public use, located just off the Delhi highway, constructed stepways with this. Oh, I guess I made a mistake or something. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's my mistake. There is no, and there is no. Yes, you can decide. No, Miss Noha is correct because this is none of them. The answer is here. It's my mistake, but it's good that you should decide that it's not related anywhere. But if you look at the last paragraph, you find the answer to one of them. Okay. So, what about the last paragraph here? Today, following years. Which sentence? It's so easy now. You have to get it. It's so easy. Which one is this? Which number? Hello? Which part of some step wells provided shade for people? This is number 6. Number 7, which type of serious climatic event which took place in southern Rajasthan is mentioned in the article? And number 8, who are frequent visitors to step wells nowadays? 8, Miss Noha, perfect. It's 8. Because it's so clear, today, following years of neglect, many of these monuments to medieval engineering have been saved by Archaeological Survey of India. And you say tourists flock to wells. Okay, now I still have number 6 and number 7. 6 and 7. I'll make it easier for you. This part on the left is an answer to one of these two questions. Here. Here. Those 3 lines. Is it 6 or 7? Here. Those 3 lines. Hello? Those 3 lines goes for 6 or 7? Still no answer? I guess that you didn't take screenshot of the questions, right? So why didn't you tell me? Okay, read the 3 lines and then we go to the questions. Ms. Na said 7. Okay, mashallah, 7. Yes, it's 7. Perfect. Perfect. And the answer is this word. Okay, so now let's sum up what we have been doing. Now we have, you know that in reading, yes, perfect, Ms. Na. You know that we have 3 different techniques in which you can use to answer the passages. And I recommend the 3rd one, because in the 3rd one you finish quickly and you get to the point. You don't have to exert too much effort. You're not going to read the text like 3 or 4 times to find the question or the answers. If you're doing the exam, I recommend that you do the completion question first, because in completion the questions are back to back, and in some, not in all, in some questions or in the reading parts, you will find that the questions follow each other. So 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yes, in some, not in all. In the reading passage, on the reading text, you go to questions 2 by 2. So you're not going to look for one question. You look for one question and you keep the second one in mind, because sometimes you may skip the part, so that you know which part is next. Okay? So I guess that this is the end of our session today. I would like you, we have like 10 minutes. If you would like to ask me any question, I'm here. Ask me. Any question? You don't even say no? You don't say anything? Okay. Now, if you're going to benefit from the sheets, what are you doing? I want someone to answer this question. What are you doing if you would like to improve your English through studying such materials? What are you doing? The academic exam is a bit more difficult because it goes into specific ideas. But general is like, it's something that you know most of the social talk. But for the academic, you use it for academic purposes like study, PhD, master. So you should know more details. So the general is easier. Here, Carlos, thank you so much. He said that we need to read magazines, newspapers. Yes, yes, perfect. Watch series about daily life routine. Yes, perfect. Okay, so I would like you to also to study, highlight the expressions. Thank you so much. This is what I'm about to say. I would like you to highlight the expressions, see collocations, check the difference between the two words used here and here. Try to vary the way you speak. So today you studied one passage and you got like 5 expressions. I would like you to use the 5 expressions today. My advice to you is to do what I'm just saying now. You get the listening and the reading, study them, use the vocabulary. Guys, you have to understand what I'm saying, because this is very important. You will never be clever. You will never be clever if you just studied. Never. You have to use it. You have to use what you're studying. So, Mr. Ashraf, if you would like to go on academic IELTS, you have to study or to answer some academic passages. You have to answer some academic listening. And you get the sheets and study them, because you have to know how do these people speak, what do they say, which vocabulary words do they use. You're welcome, my friend, and wish you the best of luck. So guys, thank you so much. We meet this Wednesday. I hope that you print the sheet, you answer passage 1, 2, and 3. You apply the techniques that fits you. I said I recommend the number 3. But maybe Miss Noah find my techniques so difficult for her. Although she knows that this is the best one, but she can't apply it. So fine. Just go with something that you're happy with, because this gives you or saves you too much time and effort. So thank you so much for joining us today, and thank you for being here all the time. I wish you the best of luck. We meet on Wednesday, inshallah, with how to study vocabulary, inshallah. So thank you so much. Say thank you to everyone in the chat, please, because your friends encouraged you to be here and stay till the end. So I would like you to say thank you, everyone, please, if you don't mind. Thanks, Ms. Noah. Thank you. Okay. Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. See you on Wednesday. Goodbye.